First of all, I do want to acknowledge the replies and DMs that have helped me more than I can articulate. Thank you for being kind when most of the world might say I don't deserve it. I've just been experiencing some form of weird paralysis, unable to formulate replies while my head is spinning. In the days that followed W coming into my work, I was, and still am, really, a wreck. I would uncontrollably jitter with the most sickening anxiety while I bounced thoughts around in my head like a ping-pong ball. How to bring this up with my husband, if at all. Wondering if it was a coincidence that she death-stared me like that. Trying to figure out why I'd been blocked. Rationalizing whether or not I should find a way to contact him, etc. 2 days after the confrontation, not long before closing, she walked in. By this point, I just wanted to turn to jelly and bawl my eyes out. All I could squeeze out was, "Hello." Thankfully, she had a lot to say because I couldn't even use my mouth for the first 5 minutes. I just went into shock. She was actually really nice, painfully eloquent, painfully attractive. I felt myself shrinking the longer I listened to her and stared at her. She found out where I worked by simply waiting outside the hotel the day she had the argument with the XAP. She didn't tell him she'd installed one of those spyware apps on his phone, and while she said it was clean, the location was enough to confirm. My car was parked at her friend's place of business, and she came in that day to confirm I was the one leaving the hotel. Then she confronted him. As it turns out, she was very unemotional, just deflated. He is a serial cheater and compulsive liar, according to her, who has failed several attempts at reconciliation and will not stop cheating. I told her about the DADT arrangement he had mentioned, and she said it was more like, if she asks, never tell. She has no issues with him sleeping with whoever he wants, just don't be married to her. I felt 2 inches tall and rather pathetic because there was genuinely nothing I could say to justify my part in sexual relations. She didn't want to know anything, just a simple agreement that has actually shattered me. 1, if required, as he's denying my existence, I will admit to the affair because she wants a divorce. 2, either I tell my husband or she does because she refuses to play a part in hurting another person the way her husband has hurt her for years. I'm pretty certain my whole world is about to implode completely. I know it will be far worse coming from an outside party. I've held off, kind of waiting for this to kick off without me. Tonight is the night because I don't want to drag this out any longer. I see posts often asking if it's worth it. Right now, let me tell you, no amount of sex was worth this. I was on top of the world. What he doesn't know won't hurt him, right? I've been completely spiritually undressed by a woman who I'm sure has her faults, but could easily posture herself as 10 times the woman I am based on loyalty alone. If it was her mission to make me feel lesser than in every way possible, it worked. Right here, right now, I've shrunk to the unworthiest version of myself I could ever imagine possible. She also said she pities me, that she has no desire for revenge as karma is often cruel enough. My regrets? I wish I at least had the backbone to posture myself as an honest woman and tell her when my gut told me to. I may have still been labeled a cheater, but at least I could appear to have some integrity. I felt like a cornered rat at work. The worst part of this is what I'm about to do to my husband. I know this will mess him up. And the AP's kids, his damn kids. The only advice I can offer adulterers who are adamant that they have needs that must be met is don't ever believe in the open relationship narrative unless you know the partner. Update after saving this in my drafts, I told my husband. He is disgusted that I would go as far as meeting strangers in hotels for sex. He tells me, no wonder he doesn't feel naturally attracted to someone this rotten to their core. I cried and pleaded for understanding and apologized profusely for betraying him. Eventually, I said, I'm so sorry for your pain. He snapped at that. He admitted the AP's wife reached out with her concerns before she even confronted me the second time. He was waiting to see how long I would keep lying to him. Now he sees me as a liar and nothing more. He said the lowest form of human that will sit in the lowest level of hell is a liar. Then he announced he's already filed. I don't even care at this point if I've given too much away. I'm shattered. I don't even know what to think at this point. I don't want to settle into depression just yet because I have a feeling this isn't over and is only the tip of the iceberg for me. Nothing I can do for now but sit in the mess I've made. My OPSEC was airtight. Nothing was going to save me from a man being tracked and watched so closely by his betrayed spouse. So I guess karma woke up that day and decided it was my time. Anxiety's gone. I feel dead inside. I'm sitting here in a motel room once again, but completely alone. Numb. Staring at social media posts and old photos of my life spanning 15 years and feeling like none of it was real. Did I really just burn so much to the ground for sex? I really did. I keep having intrusive flashbacks of heated and passionate sex contrasted against family BBQs and milestones, and I'm cringing to death. Nothing more can be said. Just take this post on board as a warning shot and reflect on if you're up to scratch in your own matters. And when you're convinced you're all good, be careful to check for people sitting in car parks. Also, now I'm just wondering what the hell don't ask, don't tell even is. Let's happily commit to a life of knowing we are lying to each other. I should have seen that red flag a mile away. W pointed to the fact that her position had to be so fierce and unforgiving at this point because she's worked too hard to survive. His actions and lies have caused immeasurable grief, and she's been medicated, even hospitalized, and suicidal through the years as a result. He was/is an abuser. Every bit of talent and charm presented to me was nothing more than a performance to get his end wet and fuel the games he plays with his own wife's soul. According to her, their relationship was deeply passionate and fulfilling. As we've spoken more, she's opened up more about her experience, and the sex and love she's described is far more than I ever received from him, in a way that would make most women feel lucky. But he would leave clues and trigger her, and they'd have these huge fights and what became an almost weekly pattern. I've gathered that it was surely more about the fighting with her than it ever was about the casual sex with me or anyone else. I feel like vomiting, feeling that some form of evil has been inside me, to the point it effortlessly ripped my world apart. All I had to do was consent to sleeping with a person I truly didn't know at all. All I want to do is lie on my husband's arms and cry, tell him all of this, share my deep regret, and answer his questions. He has none. He doesn't want to look at me, much less speak to me. I have had to go through his sister-in-law because my former extended family won't even look at me. I've returned to my home to get belongings, and it's empty. She stands there awkwardly, watching on because apparently I can't be in my own home alone. To add salt to the wound, the sister-in-law said he told his family his instinct was to forgive me. He expected me to come and tell him everything, but when I didn't immediately, he knew that was it for him. He'd never be able to trust me again when he saw me happily being normal with that cloud over my head. Sorry it's so long. This is the short version, believe me.